What's up with it, guys, and welcome back to another video. Hopefully you're doing well. And recently, I've been trying to come on here and trying to talk about my testimony, things that I've been through, things that I've survived, the demons that I've beat, the hardships that I've overcome, the generational chains that I've been able to break thus far in my walk with Christ. And again, nothing that I say, no glorious to me. I am but a vessel. I am just a conduit for God's will. And to me, there's more now than ever that I'm just, it's just that it's accepting that Jesus is the true way to change. That if you really want hope like you claim, or you really want life, or you want to do, there's a lag, that you want to do something different, you want to see something different, then that's the way to do it. It's not through your own way. You're gonna fall. You're gonna fail. You're going to backslide. You're going to end up like a dog returning to its vomit, just like the scripture says. You will return back to that fallen state if you don't have the right God, and don't have the right power and the right strength and the right relationship. That's the word. That's the perfect word right there. The right relationship to get you through it. And with me, without my relationship with Jesus Christ, there's no way that I could have changed. And I think everybody wants to change for the better. Everybody's trying to change for the better, but again, it's like nobody. Every time, dude's laying down. I'll tell you what, if I could reach the game and smack some people, I would. But again, and like that right there, even is a good example, because we we're all flawed. Every one of us. If you're listening to this, you've done something wrong. You've done something you've regretted. You've done something that's laid heavy on your conscience. You've done something. Everybody's done something. That's why people, especially, we are in need of a savior. We're in need of a different outcome. We're in need of a different game plan. Most people are just doing what their parents did and what their environment taught them to do. And people don't realize that that's why you're in the situation that you are, to where you're broken, where you're sad, where you're hopeless, where you're undetermined, when you're unable to, like where you procrastinate, when you're unmotivated, like all of these things, all of these psychological traits that we have as humans. There are certain things that they coincide with each and every one of us. It's not just a base to base situation. Who did that? Oh, mm. But again, it's never something that can be forced. You have to experience things to be able to apply them to your life, to see them as the truth. To real life, bullet would go through that. But we're all misguided. We're all hurt. That's a big one. Everybody's hurting. And that's why I'm trying to do my absolute best to help. Because I don't like people seeing people hurt. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, well, you died because you were friends with demons. That's what you get. And see, and I think that's a big reason why we're here. We're here to learn about ourselves and to learn why we do the things that we do and to experience this life. And we're we're here to experience a dualistic life so that way we can learn light and dark. And then after you learn light and dark, you have to choose which side you will serve. Most people want to serve themselves, which don't realize that serving the self, it by default, you're serving darkness because you're serving yourself. That's exactly what Lucifer did. He wanted to serve himself over the Most High God, over the source, over the Father in heaven. And because of that, that's what he did, and that's why he failed. That's why he was in a fallen state, because he rebelled against that what was good. He rebelled against that which would make him whole, make him just, makes him righteous, make him whatever, anything that's on a positive scale of things. Because again, while we're here, it's not black versus white or gay versus straight. It's light versus dark. It's pride versus humility. Oh, I guess that is the opposite of pride, ain't it? But pride against, humility. It's love versus hate. That's the ultimate too. It's love and hate. And most people, it's like most people would tell you they love you, but their actions. Oh, I just shot myself. Their actions reveal something very different. Something very egotistical. Something along the lines of worshiping the self, trying to look out for themselves because they think they know what's best for themselves and they got all the answers, and the typical human story. And it's like, oh, we don't realize that we don't know. We've never known. But we're all too proud to admit that we don't know anything. We're all too caught up in the details to see the big picture. And that's why it's like, if I can help you, just even if I can say one thing to help resonate with you to the point where you can break out of the cycle. Again, every one of us, we're all humans are creatures of habit. We do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And we're like, huh, why isn't nothing working? Huh, probably because you're doing the same thing you've been doing for the last 5 years and nothing's changing. But when it comes to the human design, we are built to worship. Humans are designed to follow after something. We're built to, again, and again, I think it makes sense that we're built to worship because that's what we were built to do. I mean, that's literally like, and again, that right there is a huge point that points out to me that there is a creator, because that doesn't happen by chance. There's no way that every human, excuse me, there's no way that every human would worship something unless it was put into our design, which means that we were designed, which means that we were created, because we can own things. Creators are what design things. Like, you wouldn't sit there, look at a bridge, look at the Golden Gate Bridge and be like, oh, that just happened. No, that doesn't make sense. You wouldn't dirty up your room, walk out the room, and then come in and it be cleaned. But yet, that's what the Big Bang Theory states, that everything just happened. It all just, like, order doesn't come from chaos. Oh, chaos. Yeah, order doesn't come from chaos. I said it right. But everybody believes that nowadays. Like, why? That's ignorant. That doesn't even make sense. Like, I've never once dirtied up something and it's cleaned itself just because it felt like it needed to be clean. Like, but no, the Big Bang Theory's, oh, the universe felt like it needed to be a universe, so it became a universe. Like, nah, man, something created us, something designed us for a purpose, and we're all missing our purpose. We're all falling short of the glory of God. We are missing. We're missing the again. We're missing the key to get back into back into the back into the kingdom. Give me a grind. Dang it, man. But that was for the map. Ignore that. But every one of us now. See, again, I don't view sin as most people do. I think it's just a state of one, we're ignorant about things that we do, and I think that there spiritually wicked things attached to us that makes us continue to do the things that we don't want to do. And even if it's like, yeah, you know that something's off, you know that let's say, I don't know, you're hurting your friend. You know that you're doing it, and yet you can't help but to, because you're looking out for yourself, looking out for number one. That's natural. People do it. Self-preservation is a very big part of the human walk. But that's because we're not going to learn unless we do that. We have, and again, we have to learn. That is why we are here. We are here to learn. And to me, unless you commit to building that relationship with Jesus Christ, you're not going to, I mean, you might learn in the ways of man, but in the spiritual ways that you are called to learn, that you need to learn. Because, most things that people need, but they're just wants. People just mislabel them incorrectly. But we need Christ. We need Jesus in order to be raised back up into our dude. Look, demon never fails. But we need Christ in order to beat the demons that we have attached to us. Because every one of us, we do things that we don't want to do. And it's almost like there's a force that's beyond us that is persuading our actions. You know, a little voice in the back of your head is when you're okay. So here's a good example. You're sitting there, you got a girl, and this is more for the men aspect of it because men and women treat and view sex very differently. You got a girl that your heart tells you love her, and again, it's false love, lust, something you're getting out of it. You just gotta look deeper. But your heart says you love her, and yet you still cheat on her. And you tell her, like, I don't know why, I didn't want to, it just kind of happened, it's blah, 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 excuse, typical human behavior. But you still do it. You still miss that mark, you still fall short of that mark, you still, but you still end up doing the action that you know to be wrong. Why? If you know it's wrong, why can't you stop yourself? Think about that just for a second. If you know it to be false, if you know it to be something that's going to strip from your life instead of adding to it, why do it? Because you can't control yourself. And that's just the fact of it. You can't control yourself. Say what you want, think what you want. That's between you and God, but you can't. We can't. I can't. But once you start to build your relationship with Jesus, it's like you take your power back. You take your authority back. You buy your way into the kingdom through our Father's only begotten Son, which is his immediate Son. That is him in the flesh. Creator in the flesh. That's what I believe. And most people are like, oh no, you're crazy, you're misled, you're brainwashed. Like, nah, I thought that for a little while. Doubts, I allowed them to creep in because everybody wants to be the hero, but not everybody can handle the weight of it. And that's why the creator had to do something different in order to complete the game that we're playing. Because again, to me, we're all one with the creator. Separation is an illusion, but we have to be in a fallen state in order to remember. You can't remember something unless you forgot it. And that's what makes the game fun is you forget yourself and then you become reaware of yourself and then you relearn yourself. And then somewhere in between the lines you get this amazing adventure called life. But most people are missing life planning for something. Most people are missing the point while again, they're missing the moments planning for a month ahead, planning for 2 months ahead, planning for whatever the case may be. Instead of, again, we need to, we have to learn to be still in our lives. We have to learn to be comfortable in the boredom, be comfortable in the in the downtime, in the slow moments of life. But in today's world, we are constantly, consistently flooded with, I mean, noise. There you go. We're constantly flooded with noise and we're constantly flooded with these we're flooded by these distractions that make it to a point to where we can't sit with ourselves anymore. You can't sit with yourself. You can't be comfortable in silence. You'll never find who you really are because you have to go into silence to figure that out. We live in such a fast-paced world, in such a chaotic world, in such a world. It's like, man, like even now, like we pay all this money just for the convenience of speed, just so that way fast food is a little quicker. Because it is, that's what we want. We want it to be fast. We don't want it to be we don't want quality. We want the I don't know, we want stuff to be easy. We want to be comfortable. We want to be babied, and that's a big issue with today's world is that we live in a system that is consistently telling us that we are okay how we are, and that is not the truth. Because we are in a spiritual war, and they want us to stay. Might as well, right? Do I want to prestige up? I feel like you lose progress on your weapons if you do that. And I'm trying to finish the camo. That's kind of like if I had it, not really a goal, but that's kind of the goal and the physical aspect for me playing this. But we, no, I'm not, at least not yet. But we're in this system that is designed to, it's purposefully flawed. So it's not flawed in the aspect of how they made it, but it's flawed when it goes against the nature of humans, when it goes the nature of who we are, what we think. It's like even like that profile right there, God is fake. Like that couldn't be further from the truth. Like I could sit there and I'm sure we probably wouldn't have much of an argument. And like with me, that's how I know what I've experienced to be truth because I it's rare that I lose a debate with people. I really don't, honestly. I haven't in a while. which I pick my battles wisely just because I know some people ain't worth it. Like some people, you can tell them the truth all day till you're red in the face, but they're not going to accept it. But when I am put in situations through the divine timing, I'm always I'm waking people up. I'm helping people connect a dot, helping them realize something, helping them realize I understand them. I can relate to them in some way, shape, or form, or whatever it may be. And that right there for me is reassuring. So even a good example. So recently I had court, and I'm gonna give you some details of this court case. So I had to go out of town, you know, drop of the hat. That's just how the company I used to work for did things. It was all like we're just everybody was just taking turns pissing in the wind and being amazed that there was getting piss on their leg. But I, you know, that's nothing. It's nothing against them. They're some of the best people I've met. But anyways, in spur of the moment, I had to go out of town, and like I said, I live in Greensboro area, not exactly Greensboro area, and I had to go to what's that beach? Moorhead Beach, I believe. Um, yeah, no, actually, it was Wilmington. My apologies. No, yeah, either way, or it might be both. But I went down there. First ticket I got was in December, 2 months after I lost my father to cancer. Due to that, I got sucked into my head while I was driving, so I'll end up doing 30 over. Doing 30 over, immediately got reckless driving. Go there again. I have to go back for the court case. So I'm going down there, try to beat this court case. And, this time I try to learn. I had my car in uh cruise control. I was just kind of rolling, just chilling. And as soon as it went from a 75 to a 55, bam, cops were there. Cops are, man, I can't stand police. Police are crooked like hell. But I mean, they're really just a gang that's funded by the government. But that's another topic. But so I got another ticket. I got riding without a seatbelt, out of date tags, uh, out of date was it the inspection, and then speeding. Yeah, I was like 20. It was 74 and a 55, I believe. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So I got this another ticket, and mind you, at this point, I'm already kind of livid. Like, I'm not happy in any sense of the word. I'm financially already struggling. Like, I don't have insurance on my car. As it lapsed, I don't have current tags. I'm in a tight jam. I'm so sorry. You can't hear me, but I do apologize. But like I say, I was in a jam, and I I should have played that differently, but I ended up going to court. What's today? Today's Friday the 17th. No, it's not the 17th. That's a lie. Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah. I found it. Today's, Friday the 17th of July. I went to court July 10th, which is not it's not a coincidence, but I like to say it now just to kind of be ironic to people, but coincidentally, it was exactly 2 years after my severe motorcycle wreck where I know that I should have died. Where I walked away from it. Obviously didn't walk away, but I walked away from it. Like, obvious miracle. But, 2 years later, I did this court date. I go to court, and like I was saying, I know what I know to be true. I know from what I've experienced that there's no way it can be false. But at the same time, the mind plays tricks on us. It likes to make us doubt. It likes to make us second guess. You're not better than me at that. I'm sorry for you. Oh, but you are better at camping than me. But so I'm second guessing, and right before I go, I end up having a. I'm surprised. She thought they were dead. I was just shooting to finish the beat I was doing. Anyways, so I'm over there doubting, fighting with myself. I'm fighting my flesh, and I can't help but think, like, man, what if I am crazy? Because it does. In a crazy world, like, you'll start to feel crazy following the path of righteousness, doing what's right instead of what's easy. But I ended up having a 3-hour conversation with my dad's fourth baby mama. My dad has 7 kids. The first 3 of us are all different moms, and then the last 4 was to the same mother. But I ended up talking to her for 3 different hours, and I said something, and it hit her so hard. It's like she had to get up and she had to walk away. Like, it's like the burst of energy that was transferred from me to her, from well, through me to her. It it made her realize something. It made her it hit. It was like, oh, hold on a second. Like, she realized she was understood. And that's just a problem with most people, is that we don't understand each other, and that's because we don't understand ourselves. If we can get to a point to where we understand ourselves, we can get to a point to where we can understand others. We can understand the outside world. But the inside has to go first, and the outside will follow. So with that, like I say, it gave me a certain assurance before I ever went to the court case, because again, I was doubting, but I was like, if you're not ready to do something, the outside world, it won't align for you to do it. That right there is a very factual statement. You never will get more than what you're prepared to get. You'll never receive more than you're prepared to hold. But that's why we have to learn to let go of our trauma, so that way we can hold on to the Father's blessings that we get through Jesus Christ. 'Cause again, that's all the glories for Him. That's the reason why I've been able to change. That's the reason why I've been able to grow. That's the reason why I've been able to become a man. But like I say, I'm worried, and I end up going to this court date, and lo and behold, you know what happens? I was worried about it. I thought something else was going to happen, honestly. My mind built up these expectations. Everything, every bit of it got dropped before I even seen the judge, outside of reckless driving. That's the only thing. Everything got dropped. Both court cases, all the speeding, and again, I have probably I think I have 7 speeding tickets now. So again, that whole 35 and that 65, that's ridiculous. I'm way too fast paced in order to settle. Ooh, I goofed. How does he have a sniper? It's hardcore, dude. You don't need that much power. You need speed and accuracy. But anyways, mmm, that was really good. That one, that annoyed me. But it's, oh, and we got 3 guys looking at this damn door. Of course, and see, out of all them, it would be me, because it bugs me a little more. And that's what this world does. It likes to test us, likes to try us. Whoo! But eventually, we'll get our revenge, and it's just about letting it happen in God's timing. Believing on Jesus and giving Him the glory, man. There ain't nothing like it. Nothing at all. And again, like I say, everything got thrown out except for that reckless driving, and I'm not gonna get no points on my license. Like, I drove up there with bad tags, no insurance, and yet, how? Make it make sense. I can't stand it. But I drive up there, and like I say, all I could expect was driving. I got no points. All it was that I had to deal with, I got to pay $213 for the court fee. That's it. And I got 2 months to do so, a little less than 2 months now. Because, I explained to him, oh, yeah, I just lost my job, not working. Because I'm not working, I'm not going to be able to pay it. And he's okay, give it 2 months. And I know in time, through Jesus Christ, I will. So it's going to work out. It's going to. Wow, I had 31 kills that game. Kind of crazy. But I know that through my experience, it will work out. I know that. Yeah, that dude right there. That's hard scoping like hell too. Just another thing with me too. I used to play Black Ops 2, so like quick scoping, all of that. Like that used to be a really big thing. It's all just kind of part of that ego self. But I know that in time, whenever the time is right, whenever I've been led to the point to where I've been strung long enough to promote growth, that money will start flowing in. Believe that without a shadow of a doubt. Because I've seen too many other instances to where I've never been let down from my relationship with Jesus Christ. I've never lost what really mattered. Now I've lost a lot, but I wouldn't pick any of it back up for anything. Because now I know I never needed it in the first place. It was just me trying to do life in the way my mom and then my dad taught me. Or me trying to do life the way my friends taught me, with the gang banging or doing pills or smoking weed or using girls or using my friends or I mean there's all these different scenarios where I like me, I didn't think I'd make it to 16 while being alive. Honestly, being a white boy in the hood, being the kind of white boy I was to where I didn't care. I was crazy. I was reckless. I wanted to die in a sort of sense because I loved my life, but there was just something about it inside of me that did not sit right. The rapist? What kind of name is that, dude? Like, man, this world is so sick. It just drives me crazy. But I, I, we're all victims of our environment, and that's why I had to. Excuse me. I had to unlearn what I had been taught from my environment in order to step into purpose, step into my power, my authority, step into who I was always created to be. But in my humble opinion, you will never reach your potential without following Jesus Christ and building that relationship with Him. Reaching out to Him in spirit, reaching out to Him in your truth, truthfully who you are, what you do. You do that, everything will fall into place. But you gotta be comfortable with the discomfort for a little while. You gotta have faith in the downsides that even though you're going through a big change like losing your job, or me, that it's for the greater good. It's always for the greater good. That's like, you tell okay, so here's another example. I used to have an issue with lying in order to manipulate people. And again, I think everybody kind of does it, even if it's just white lies or whatever color they are. But everybody lies in order to try to get ahead. But I've grown to learn that how, but I've learned that burr. Oh, I took the barrel off. Oh, okay. Let me see. Maybe take that off. I want that one. But I've like to say, I've learned to realize that even though, like I've said, I was wise in my own ways, I still had so much to learn. So that's why I almost had to not relearn everything, but I had to drop anything that's slowing down my race. So all of us are in a race. All of us are, we're all in the game of life. And we all are here to become better, to grow, to change, to break the molds, to hopefully, if you do it right, break the generational curses before they're going to break your kids. 'Cause that's exactly what's going to happen. Your kids are going to pick up whatever you don't drop. Your kids are going to pick up any of those bad traits. Because again, we are born into the flesh. So it's more appealing to do the things of the flesh. It's more appealing to do things that are bad instead of do the things that are good. Like you sit there and you might want to do good, but peer pressure, that's one right there. It'll push you astray. It'll make you do something you ain't want to. And now, just because you've done something you knew you wasn't supposed to do, you're carrying this weight for no reason. You have this hardship on your mind that is pushing you the wrong way. That is pushing you pushing you more and more into a fallen state because now that you've made that decision, now your ego is tied to it. And since your ego is tied to it, now you think you have to do it because you're proud and because you don't want to admit that you were wrong. So because you don't want to admit that you're wrong, you keep doing choices to reinforce the initial crap decision that you made that you didn't even want to make in the first place. But now that you're in so deep, you feel the need to keep on keeping on because again, you're proud. People are proud. That is a huge issue with every single one of us. You know, pride comes before the fall. It says that. And we're all proud individuals. We all think we know everything. We all act like we're better than everyone else because we don't sin the same way they sin. And yet, in reality, we all suck. That's why there had to be someone who was different. That's why the character of Jesus Christ was so necessary. Because if we didn't have someone do something different, then we would all continue to keep doing the same. We would all keep on keeping on with the same old patterns, and nobody would ever be able to step out of the matrix, be able to step out of the system, step out of the loop. But most people don't want to go down the rabbit hole. Most people want to sit in comfort, sit in their illusion, sit in their bed that they've made, instead of taking a chance on something new, something greater than us, something that can promote growth, can promote change, can promote a different reality and a different life and a different outcome than what your parents did, what your parents did. Because again, we're all just falling to the same generational curses. To me, the generational curses are devils that are attached to each of those chores, like the spirit of lust, spirit of pride, spirit of anger, spirit of disobedience, anger. I mean, the list can continuously go on. There's all these different spirits that are persuading us and persuading our actions, and we don't even realize that it's because we're in a spiritual battle. This world is spiritual. Every one of us are trying to fix spiritual things. Oh, I see. Every one of us are trying to fix these. How? Oh, I'm gonna drop off. That makes sense. But every one of us are trying to fix these spiritual things with physical remedies, and that doesn't work. You have to have it. You have to have spirit to fight spirit. Flesh and flesh fight spirit. Like they coincide. That's how it's going to. Still there. Ah, he is. I want it. But we're in a system where we have to learn to fight fire with fire, fight spirit with spirit, fight flesh with flesh. Blah, excuse me. My apologies. I know I'm burping right in your ear. But if we don't, come on, I just want the one. Come on. Just a little patience. And that's the thing too, like most people don't realize that with a little patience, you can beat every temptation. Everything that is of the physical aspect of this world, it's temporary. It will end in time. It's just about having the patience to allow it to. It really annoys me that out of all the people, that dude keeps killing me. Which maybe it's just because I'm hyper fixating on it because the name difference. But anyways, see, and that's how the world works. It distracts us every time. But it's like, so again, from my experience, and again, I am not going to say your experience is valid or invalid. I'm not going to say that you don't have truth or you have truth. 'Cause I don't really, I mean, I only see things through my experience, but from my experience, I've seen the difference since I've began to follow Jesus Christ and to build that relationship with him. So that way, you kind of get access to the Father through him because there's sin doesn't come to the Father. That's just not how it works. But, you know, with me, it's like the more that I've learned, or like the more that I've been put in a place to teach others, the more I've taught myself. And that's kind of just, I don't know, like, it's so interesting because you'll be sitting there talking and you'll be saying things and you'll be truly, your intentions will be there to help the other. But still, because you're basically just a middleman and you're getting these insights that you normally wouldn't be having because you're thinking about things from a different perspective. You're thinking about things from a deeper aspect. And it's like for me, I've learned more from myself. Enough, I've learned more from myself than I have anyone else. But it wasn't until again wasn't until I built my relationship with Jesus Christ in order to be able to step through that threshold and be able to start doing that. Because, like, yeah, everybody's self taught, but if we're not guided by the right perspective, and again, that's what it is, we basically change our perspective to the Christ perspective. You might as well, right? But we we have to change our perspective and we have to see we have to we pretty much embody the blueprint of Jesus Christ. We follow in his steps. We build the relationship with the Father through him. And that's why again, that's why you talk to him, because he's the mediator, he's the middleman. He's same way, like if one of okay, let's say one of you and one of us cross paths in the street. And one day it will happen. So again, that's how the Father works. He just lines stuff up in unbelievable ways where you never will see it happening until it happens. It's like, whoa, mind blown. Which I have countless examples of that. But anyways, so one way, and eventually I would get to a point where I could come across you and I could hit you with some truth that would blow your mind to the point to where you have to believe what I say is true. And again, that's where I shine in the debates, in the back and forth. Like that's why again I wholeheartedly encourage. That's the word I was looking for. Encourage you to comment, ask questions, test me in any way you see fit. Pull the thread. See if you can find a loophole. But I guarantee you might, or I'm just gonna say, be warned, because you might come away learning something. Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to. That's something that I've promoted to people for a very long time, because I'm hesitant to speak 9 times out of 10. I'm hesitant to share my opinion, because I know my opinion is biased. But I also know, what the hell? But I know that once I am asked something, I will speak the truth, no matter how you feel, no matter what it makes you think, because your feelings, that's what you get. But karma always will come back around for you till you kind of get adopted into the kingdom of heaven, and then you go by grace. But anyways, I shooter, but man, I keep losing my train of thought. But I've experienced too much to say anything. Okay, I remember. And that's why I encourage all who is open to ask questions, to test me, test what I say, test what I promote, test it all. Because again, my goal out of this is first and foremost to tell the truth, to spread the truth that's helped me change my life and fix myself, which I didn't fix myself, but we make the choices that can either make us or break us. That's more what I mean. It's our choices have a lot more weight than we realize. The smallest choice can ripple to the biggest outcome. But I, through the choices I've made, I've been able to find truth and find peace and find a new level of experiencing life and a new conscious level and a new self-awareness through my walk with Jesus Christ, through my faith in Jesus Christ, through my belief in Jesus Christ, through my relationship with him. And I love a hit mark. Oh, excuse me. Oh, hear that? Damn hiccup, boy. Mm. But, hmm but I've experienced enough to where anytime I've been put into a position to answer questions, to debate, to explain, to guide, to teach, for starters, I still learn, which is very, very important to me. Again, might not be to you, but to me, learning and growing and changing and any of that is muy bueno. But if we're not growing, then why play the game? Like, like, does it satisfy your soul to keep doing the same thing every single day? Does this satisfy your soul to keep working for people who don't care about you, who don't relate to you, who don't understand you, who they don't, and that's the thing too, is most people, they don't want you to shine. They want you to submit so that way they can get their money. That way they can get what they want out of it. Because again, that's no matter what relationship you look at with anybody or any people, we just use each other. It's people using people. Oh, shit. People using people in order to get what they want. And see, I want as many people as possible to use my perspective in order to find something that would resonate from your point of view. Because of course you're not going to relate to everything I say because we're not alike. We're not the same person. But you can relate to, like, there's certain universal truths that if you're open for it, you'll find the answer that you're looking for. You'll find a way to hope, a way to dream, a way to transform your life from the inside out in order to experience the life of fulfillment that you truly crave and that you truly desire. Huh. Oh, that was interesting. But again, it's like I can't make you do anything. I can tell you what I've done and what I've experienced in order to promote my growth and promote my change from the inner kingdom of my mind. But then also it's like you're especially with the name of Jesus Christ, you're not going to you like the demons inside of you are immediately if you notice every time I probably say it, there's something there. There's a whisper. Some kind of nah, that's not right. No, that's not the answer. No, you don't need that. You can do it yourself. It's all you, it's all this, it's all that. But it's like, no, it's not. No, you can't. If you could, you wouldn't have been led to this point. You wouldn't have been put in a position to hear what you're hearing in order to promote the change that you need. Because again, we're not, our Father in heaven is not going to give us, He's not going to give us things that don't promote our growth or promote our own spiritual evolution. Because again, if if we don't spiritually evolve, we're going to continue to stay victims. Victims of the system, victim of politics, victim of people's belief, victims of stuff that ultimately doesn't even matter, not even in the slightest aspect. But we're all, hold on, I'm about to change my seating position because, hold on, I feel like I'd be a lot more in game if I lean forward. Oh, ow, that's not normal. Oh yeah, not like having your lungs hurt. But anyways, it's it's something about that name that is above all others. It's like something about that design that has led us to be able to actually change when we want to. But again, that's one of the whole points of this reality and this physical world we live in is because we want free will. So you're free to do what you want, but you're also free to get the consequences of your actions. And if we don't we don't begin to do something else that's different, again, we're just going to keep falling back in line with everybody else. And I don't know about you, but I can see very quickly that everybody else is not in a position to where I want to believe what they're saying. They're not in a position that I don't want to embody what they promote. I want peace. I want love. I want unity. I want strength. I don't want to be broken. I don't want to be misguided. And how did that grenade not hit them? But I don't want to be pushed into a place to where I can't live with myself. And I know now that that will never happen. That's not even a possibility, just because, again, I know the worst is behind me, and it will continue to stay behind me through the name of Jesus Christ. But for you who's hurting, who's struggling, who's looking for answers, just try what I say. Just try it. If you do, kill cam, question mark. But if you do, wow, look at there. And then again, like, look, you see, like, I'm having good games and I'm not even paying attention to it. Like, make it make sense. But anyways, just try what I say, listen to what I say, and then also like and subscribe. Tell other people, like, so that way they can find help and they can find a source of truth that is unadulterated or that isn't biased to what that isn't biased because of their own will. It's, again, my will is only to spread truth. Truth is all that I have at this point outside of my relationship with Jesus Christ. But I wouldn't trade it for any other way, because I know that in time, the things that I need will be added unto me, like they has so many times before. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time, your patience, your support. I love you. Peace be to you. I pray and hope that you find the peace of mind that you're looking for, or the sound mind and peace of heart, peace in your heart that you're looking for. That you can fix that brokenness, that you can fix that heavy weight that you carry around every day. Because I know it's real. Even me, like, I am in a higher state, but I can still feel the weight of my life. It just can't beat me no more, because I'm stronger than what I am. I don't identify with what's happened to me. So again, we can't do that. What goes into us doesn't make a man, it's what comes out of us. We have to be able to filter out the good from bad, so that way we can live in good and live in light, so that way we don't carry the weight of our actions, because our consequence, or not our conscience, our conscience knows right from wrong. Because our conscience knows, naturally, then we get to a point where we push away from what's good, we get into this fallen state, and then we don't know how to get out of it. And that's where the name of Jesus Christ in that relationship lifts you up to be able to get out of that fallen state, because that's just you've put yourself in from your choices, your actions, your decisions. We have to realize that we don't know what we're doing and that we need help. So reach out spiritually to him, find him, ask him, build that relationship, and just try it. Again, I'm just a messenger. Thank you. Peace.